Yo, what's good? Watch this podcast, watch this artist interviews. I am Scoop, and today I'm joined by incredible MC, incredible lyricist. Seems like a pretty cool dude, too. We're gonna find out more about that. Welcome to the show, my man Dizzy Wright, man. What's good, brother?
Thank you for having me. Peace, God. Word.
Yeah, man, thanks for pulling up, man. So, how's everything going with you today, man?
It's good, man. I'm actually out in Phoenix. I'm on my daddy vibes right now. My daughter's on a traveling basketball team. So we out here, tapped into some games right now.
So your daughter's a hooper, huh?
Yeah. I'm trying to, keep her in shape.
Yeah. I know you got a little bit of that in your history too, man. You play ball too, right?
I did.
You still be playing a little bit?
Yeah, I still get down. I got to, it's like therapeutic.
Yeah, for sure, man. Definitely. And get some work in, break a sweat, you know what I'm saying? Like it's always
Yeah, keep the stamina built up.
Yeah. Is that did your jersey say Iverson on it? Is that what it said?
Oh.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. I'm
Like
still rocking the old school AI joints.
Yo, shout out to AI, man. He's a legend. He's a GOAT. I'm from Jersey, and see, when you live in New Jersey, Jersey is almost like two states in one. Like we got North Jersey and South Jersey. So if you in North Jersey, then your city is New York because you're close to New York. I'm in South Jersey, so my city is Philly. You know what I mean? So most of what I do, like they say we about to go out, we go hang out, we go to Philly right over the bridge. So
okay, right on.
I'm not a huge Sixers fan as it stands right now, but I definitely, grew up as an AI fan and, watching them take a team to the finals and all that shit. So
that's fine.
So we slow walk the dog a little bit for all those don't know, man. Just being fully transparent, man. Anyone that watches my show and watches the podcast, they know like I'm a real hip hop nigga, man. Like, at my soul, my core, I don't even want to say hip hop. I'm a true rap nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? I love raps, and the structure of putting together a verse, the structure of putting together a song, a freestyle, whatever it is, like all the other shit comes secondary, but I love to hear a dope ass rap, So when a colleague of mine, a friend of mine, put me on to you and your music, I checked it out. I was thoroughly impressed, man. Like I could tell you put a lot of work in. I can even see some of your development through the years. You ain't no spring chicken in this game. You've been doing it for a little while, you know what I'm saying? And I can see the development in your style and your flow and your techniques that you use. So I'm big on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm big on people developing and growing and getting better in their craft, So salute to you, man. I'm a fan. Like
Thank you. I really appreciate that, family.
If nothing else comes from us talking today, you gonna know that you got a fan in me. I'm gonna follow your music. I'm gonna follow whatever you got going on. You ever? Well, all right. You're from Flint, Michigan, right? Originally, but you rep Vegas.
I do.
Okay, so you was pretty young when you moved to Vegas.
Yeah. I was like a baby. You know what I mean? A toddler. I was pretty much raised in Vegas. Yep.
So you from Vegas?
Yeah. But it's crazy. As I get older, like or as you get older, I would say you just start to realize where your roots start to come from. And like, I realized that like, Flint, Michigan niggas, you could have a conversation with them and it would be more like having a conversation with me than like if you had a conversation with a Vegas nigga. My like, I rep the city because of everything it taught me, but my roots is still strong. You know what I'm saying? So I really try to like learn how to balance that out and learn from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, certain shit's undeniable. Like you can't, it's like ingrained in you, like your DNA. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I'll be there. I tell people all the time, like I wasn't raised by my biological father. We have a great relationship, but I wasn't raised by him. But I have a lot of his ways. you can't, you know what I'm saying? So it's the same type
Right.
of vibe, right? You
Yep.
from there, and your family, I'm sure you have family that's from there, and things like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, it rubs off. So that's dope. And I take it you've been back, you've been over there?
Yeah, yeah. My grandma and my grandpa, rest in peace to them both, but they was kind of the glue to everything that kind of kept us coming back a lot of the times. And now that they gone, it's a little different now. When I go back to Flint, it's for some music shit or to try to tap in with the community the best way that I can. And yeah, so just constantly keeping it moving.
Yeah, I mean, as an artist, you move around a lot. You know what I'm saying? I could tell, like, just based off of what I've seen, you move around. So it's good. I mean, that's one of the benefits, I think, to being an entertainer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like being able to move around, see different things. Do you ever make your way out east, man? Like out to the East Coast to do anything?
Yeah, I'm actually coming out that way. In August, I'll be out that way. And I'm excited, because I know the East Coast, they always rely more on the raps, like you say. Like, y'all want to hear the raps, y'all want to hear the styles, you know what I'm saying? You want to hear it from, you know what I mean? You want to hear it from the nigga on stage. Like, you don't want to hear the record, they putting the artist to the test, and I always like to come out there and get new fans and rise to the occasion.
Yeah, I do think that I mean, I was going to say untapped, but it sounds like you have tapped in to a degree to, potential fan base out here. I do think that your style of rap that you create, it resonates with me, and I'm a nigga from out here. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I know my peoples and other people, definitely can appreciate what you bring to the table stylistically and just lyrically, the way you put it together. And I'm not one of these dudes that I don't have a problem with other styles of rap. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's not so lyrical. You know what I mean? I'm not one like, yo, that shit's trash because they not like I'm not one of them cats either. You know what I mean? But at the end of the
Yeah,
day,
yeah, yeah.
but I like what I like. You know what I mean? Like I like what I like, and I'm going to be drawn to it. So Vegas. So I don't really know too many rappers from Vegas. Like I mean, I don't know any actually. What was that like for you trying to come up through the ranks being from Vegas? Like, did you have to spend a lot of time in Cali, like in LA, or like
Yeah. Yeah, you had to like move around a lot. Like, and Cali was really the only place that was in my reach that I could find opportunities in. You know what I'm saying? Cali had culture. Vegas culture was built around casinos and gambling and shit that like, entertainment. So it like being an artist in Vegas, it was really hard to compete with that. It still is hard to compete with that because I mean, everybody that's somebody gonna end up in Vegas, in one of them clubs. And like, it's not like these other places where, they gotta go, far away to maybe see. Like this shit is like your favorite artist, the biggest artist in the world, they come to one strip, year round. So yeah, you have to move around a lot. I realized that like a lot of the artists kind of were just competing to be the guy in the city, and I think that separated me too, because I didn't want to just be the guy in the city. I was already popular around the city and shit. Like, me and my homies threw parties and shit. So we was already, we ain't need music to like, get money or get bitches or nothing like that. Like we was on some other shit, So music was something that I really was able to just tap into, and as a different side of my expression that I was giving people, that I felt like this shit kind of cool. Maybe I could build on this shit. That's why you can hear the growth. I never took none of that old shit down because I wanted people to be able to go back and, hear the voice change, hear the styles change, hear the, the growth. Cause I always knew I was decent, but I knew that there was a lot of room to grow.
Always though, right? You feel me? Like it's always a work in progress, and I think that the older stuff I heard from you was still, solid. Like it was good shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you was a good rapper, and you still just getting better. You know what I'm saying? And you know what also happens though? Times change. You know what I'm saying? Like you develop as a person, but you also, I'm sure you're a fan of rap and the culture, and you know, you listen to other shit and you be like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's other flows, there's other different things that I could tap into, you know, and still stay true to yourself. So yeah, I think all that stuff is very important. And you, I mean, what you just described was that, you know, you kind of was popping in the city with your homies, you know, doing parties, getting money, doing what y'all was doing prior to you really taking rap seriously. When I did research on you, I saw your mom. Your mom was a huge part in getting you into music or into rap. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Like what, like, how was that? I mean, she was a tour manager for Bone Thugs.
Yeah, my mom was a tour manager for Bone Thugs. She also was a publicist and she worked PR.
Mm-hmm.
And she just had her foot in the dough.
Mm.
And when I was a kid, you know, it started off with me being like a youth reporter.
Mm-hmm.
And because my mom was a publicist and shit like that, she got us in the dough in a lot of places to interview. Shit, I was essentially doing what you doing right now, only there was no technology.
Yeah. So that was Just for Kids, right? That was the y'all.
Yeah, that was the Just for Kids
Uh-huh.
joint. And you know, I think my mom was just trying to prepare us for the music industry, like the music industry as we know it to be. You know what I'm saying? So I learned a lot about the things that I didn't like really fuck with about the music industry before I had made a dollar. You know what I mean? So I don't ever try to take like my independent route and use that to stun on niggas, because sometimes niggas just don't know, or they don't have the access, right? And like I didn't have access to a bunch of money or a crazy lifestyle. Like, you know, my mom wasn't able to, you know, financially make it work, but she made a lot of connections and she learned a lot. And the little shit that she dished out on me, like, played a big part into why I chose to go like the independent route.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, networking, man. Ain't what you know is who you know, and most importantly, who knows you. You know. So when did you or what was the moment that you actually like you accomplished something musically and you said, you know what, like this is it. Like I you know, I can make a living doing this, or I can really take this to another level. What was that breakthrough moment for you?
I did this shit called Wild Out Wednesday on 106 in Park
Mm-hmm.
when I was in high school. And it was some shit that, like, you know, I had just got introduced to like social media. You know, I ain't had no computer or nothing like that in my crib. And like, you know, so I went on the internet and shit like that. But, you know, I got my, you know, actually my lady, she's still my lady right now. We got 3 kids together, but I would go over her house and use her computer.
Mm-hmm.
And
Love.
I would fucking send my music out all day to just, you know, when I just realized that it was access to people all over the world, I just thought that shit was incredible. Like, you know, my mind was real small thinking at the time. So that just felt like a big thing. And yeah, one of my fans, you know, that I sent the music to, fuck with the music, and she found out about some shit that 106 in Park was doing, and she sent my video and all this shit, and they hit her back like, yo, he could come audition.
Wow.
And I realized the power of the internet in that moment. And I went out, you know, I had to scrape up all my own money to go out there with my partner to audition. And it's a 2-minute audition. We came all the way from Vegas. Didn't feel like it was worth it. And then they didn't hit me. They hit me like 7 months later, bro. I thought for a fact I didn't get it.
Wow.
They hit me 7 months later, randomly. I thought it was a fucking joke. I thought somebody was playing. I was talking to the BT nigga all crazy.
Fuck out of here. What the fuck you talking about?
I'm like, yo, man, we playing on my phone, man.
Wow.
And yeah, we went and we turned and we won, you know, and that moment of having people vote for you. And I don't know, that shit just installed something in me.
Hell yeah. Not surprised at all. And so you said, all right, so you have music. Like, where was you recording that? Like, what was that process like, you know, before that? Like, how was you putting it together?
So I started out with my homeboy R3D. you know, he, you know, my little partner on the east side, I mean, he actually blew my mind because my mom's was in the music industry and like, you know, she was just on a level, you know, and the level that she was on, you know, we couldn't afford to record in them studios and we couldn't afford that shit. So we would like, you know, catch some hours at the end of the night or early in the morning, that type of shit. Or before a session, some quick shit. We couldn't really afford to be in there. And I had never seen a studio, like a home studio until I seen my homeboy's home studio. And from there, like, I'm like, nigga, you recording this? He like, yeah, bro, I got the mic right here. Whoop you up. And like, yeah, bro kind of changed my life because from that moment, I was like, oh, damn, you don't need all that? I'm like, this shit sound good to me. I wasn't really, you know, in tune with like mixing and mastering. And like, I wasn't even there yet. All I knew is that I could hear the nigga. Like, that's it. And
it's like early 2000s, I'm taking it, like
nah. This actually 2008.
Okay.
Like right around, I was like just about to turn 18. And yeah, I had came across, because I had gave up on the music shit. Like, you know, shit, I went out there with Crazy Bone and Lazy Bone and Wish and all of them, and they was trying to do some shit, some like little small Bone Thug shit called Mighty Mo Thug 5.
Okay.
And it was me and my little brother, and it was the homie 3, and it was Lazy Bone's son, and fucking this other nigga named Chris. And we was trying to come up with like this Mighty Mo Thug 5 shit. And we actually came out here to Arizona, where I'm at right now. And we was fucking in the studio. They had like a studio A, a studio B, studio C. This is probably like 2006. Around that time when Bone was like working with Swiss Beats and shit.
Wow.
Because Swiss Beats and Cassidy was in studio A, Bone was in studio B, and we was in studio C. So this was like a moment for me where I got to see like greatness working. Like I would go in there and just sit in the, I would go in there, yeah, here you go. I would go in there and just sit in the studio and I would just watch Cray record sometimes. Like I would just sit there and just watch him record, and he be in there fucking up on the lyrics, and I already had that shit memorized. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to just think, but then J-Bone, Lazy Bone's son, you know, we was fucking with the BB guns, and he shot the backboard out in the basketball court, the parking lot, and they sent us home, bro.
Yeah, kid shit.
Yeah, kid shit. They like, y'all little niggas. Hey, that nigga Wish was ready to, hey, Wish was over us.
Yeah.
Wish was like, yo, these little niggas is bad. We don't got time for this shit, man. But you know, they was working with a producer. His name was Gista. And Gista was really like, you know, he was like supposed to be the head honcho, like the Mighty Mo Thug 5 shit, you know, giving us beats and, you know, making sure we was doing our verses. So when we came to the studio, we was ready. And yeah, after they sent us home, my mama was like, you know what? She threw her hands up. And when she threw her hands up, I threw my hands up. Like, man, fuck this shit. I'm about to go be Allen Iverson.
Yeah, go hoop.
Go hoop.
Wow.
And then I met this nigga, and I had been writing like poetry and shit like that, but really they was like raps, you know what I'm saying? So I had like books and books and books of like what I was calling poetry, but I end up turning a lot of that shit into raps and like putting verses together, piecing my thoughts together on songs. And I was fucking with that. Like, and then I realized that, you know, I was throwing parties, like maybe I could make a record to get played up in this motherfucker. So I started doing that, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, I only liked the feeling of that when I was in the club. That's not really what I wanted to do outside the club. So I had to find my balance. So I was like, well, shit, nigga, I'll do some party music and throw that shit out there for the clubs. I'm gonna do my real shit, and that's what I'm gonna do music videos to. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna be my style, right? So yeah, that's how we got here.
Wow. So that was all right. So if I'm looking at the timeline, right? So you said around like 06-ish is when you went to Arizona and with the Mighty Mo Thug 5.
Yeah, that could have been 05, 06, around that time. And then, you know, we deaded the rap shit.
And
like
then eventually you got with your mans. You said across town.
I got my mans, and he was recording himself, making his own shit. And I was like super impressed off that shit. And then, you know, I started recording with him. But then I started learning about mixing and mastering. So I was like, damn, I gotta start like getting my shit mixed and mastered. Like, you know what I'm saying? Thinking like, I'm learning all this shit like as an independent artist on my own. It's completely different than everything that I know about the music industry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, all that shit is like all the shit that comes with it when you sign a deal and shit like that. But when you're doing it on your own step by step, it was crazy. So I started going to a spot called Brick House Studio.
Where is that?
This in Vegas.
Okay.
And he had like a little studio on the east side of Vegas. And, you know, he was more, you know, he charged $25 an hour. Really, he charged $20 an hour at first, but then the nigga went up $5 on me. Then the nigga tried to go up 30 on me, and I had to find a new studio. I was like, $30 an hour, nigga, you trying to kill me. Like at that time, you know what I'm saying? Nigga ain't had no money for fucking studio time. A nigga was just like, you know what I'm saying, finessing his little situation, throwing these little parties, saving up. So I'm like,
so
every
wait,
$5
before,
up, nigga.
Is this before or after 106 and Park?
This is before.
Okay.
So like I started going to Brick House Studio, and I like started making some records, and they started making a little, you know what I mean, little noise and shit. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna start, you know, that MySpace shit was going on. And then I was putting my music on MySpace and all that. This like around my senior year. And yeah, like towards the end of my senior year is when I got that call back. So you mind you, bro, I'm about to go on 106 in Park, nigga. I'm in the 12th grade. Like, I'm like, nigga, this seemed like everything. Like, I feel like this my moment. Yeah. I'm like, what, nigga? I'm finna, ain't no telling how our lives is gonna be after this. Like, right? Like, but you realize, like, there's a winner every week. Every week they got a different winner, nigga. So it's like, I also, even though I was proud of that, it also taught me, like, damn, your moment can easily pass. And then, like, what's next, nigga? What you gonna do next? How you gonna build off of it next? So I started getting on some, like, what's next type of thinking.
Yeah, that energy though, you feel me? The energy that you created, like you said, it's a different winner every week, but everybody not gonna carry it the same way. You know what I'm saying? Everybody not gonna carry that experience. So you took that experience and was like, yo, I like this feeling. I don't want to lose this feeling. so let me continue doing shit that's gonna make me feel like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
word. Exactly.
That's great shit. So, all right. So eventually you started making music with Hobson. Funk Volume was the label, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the transition to that? Like, you already was building your solo buzz off of the 106 in Park vibe? Like, after you did that, you continue doing shit?
Yeah.
They discovered you on like a talent show or some shit? What was it?
Yeah, it was like a talent show I had did. It was like a little performance that I did in Vegas. And yeah, she sent the little clip. And fucking yeah, after that I just started grinding, bro. You know, I found a nigga that could shoot music videos, and I started, like, you know, shooting the little music videos and trying to put like little visuals to my shit. And, you know, I was just trying to really find myself, find my style and things like that. So, you know, I was still covering a lot of music, like, and then I started doing like, you know, my own projects, you know what I'm saying, with like original music, just trying to figure out what my sound would be, and, you know, just having fun with it, trying to find it and talking my shit, talking about my experience, the shit I was going through, without feeling like I had to be something or I had to do something a certain way. And, you know, I was able to just kind of learn this shit at my pace.
I mean,
but the transition from that was really, you know, a nigga was just grinding, you know what I'm saying? And then I did a competition and I won the competition. It was a Chic Def Jam music competition with a bunch of artists. And I jumped in that shit on the random and then I won it. And the Funk Volume niggas happened to be there. And, you know, Def Jam had a little something on the table that was like a package. It was already pre-packaged, is how I look at it. It's like, it was a pre-packaged deal on the table. And it just was the opposite of what I was trying to accomplish. So shit, I went and fucked with the Funk Volume niggas. They gave me the freedom, allowed me to be myself. And yeah, I just ran with it. You know, it was a new process because it was a whole different fan base, whole different type of vibe. But, you know, I always felt like I could just, you know, gravitate towards anything.
What do you mean by a whole different type of fan base, whole different vibe? What does that mean, though?
Meaning, like, when I got into it, you know, Hopsa had a lot of Juggalo fans. I don't know if you're familiar with Juggalos. But, you know, Juggalos, they got their own thing going on out here in America, you know what I'm saying? And they embraced me and showed me a lot of love, but they don't embrace everybody. You know, you gotta be confident in yourself. You gotta motherfucking really be coming with it, really be spitting that shit. And like, it's a different, they don't just fuck with all kind of hip hop because it's hip hop. They fuck with their particular motherfuckers and they embrace them, you know what I'm saying? And if they embrace you, you could get a lot of love. But if not, you know, you could have trouble with the shit. So I tried to meet them. I tried to match their energy. So I had to take my energy just from that cool, real smooth fucking, you know, message shit. I still be doing that shit, but I had to find different ways to like match their energy. And I always thought it was a fun task.
Okay. No, that, I mean, like that's interesting though. Like, see, but that just shows like your flexibility. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like to be able to do that, to be able to pivot and switch styles based off of the opportunity at hand. Like, you know what I'm saying? And still remain true to yourself. I mean, because it's funny looking at your style. I mean, I am familiar with Hopsin, you know what I'm saying? Slightly. I know his style, the style of rap that he creates. I do see that as being different from what you do. You know, but I can see how there can be y'all can coexist. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like you can, I don't want to say keep up with, but you know what I'm saying? Like the way he's very focused on like syllables, like just very, very focused on like all of the syllables. And, you know, similar to how like an Eminem is like very focused on syllables and, you know, and things like that. I think you have that in you from what I hear, but you also are very focused on your message, on getting it out.
So you know what it is, man, is like, it was always fun being around niggas that could really rap. You know what I'm saying? What I couldn't keep up with is the shock value. Like, you know, the dissing niggas and the antics and the shit that, you know, niggas was doing. Like, I couldn't keep up with that because that's not in me, right? So like, I would find myself in situations that I wouldn't normally be in, you know, based off of being loyal to a situation. You know what I'm saying? That I don't know if that situation is, you know, benefiting me in every aspect that it could be. You know, they brought me in because, you know, I sprinkled a little bit of sauce. Like I brought like more of a nigga vibe.
Cool shit.
More of the niggas in and like the cool shit. And, you know, I was just completely different than Hop. You know, I smoke weed, but, you know, I had my daughter at like, I was 20 years old with my daughter, like, and, you know, I was just trucking and moving different. Like, so all of the kind of stereotypes that they had against like stoners, like I was like breaking them all, you know what I'm saying? So the shock value shit, to me, it was like there was no like growth to it or no learning from it or no, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to focus more on the music, make dope music and just be them niggas and talk our shit. But you know, that's what I couldn't keep up with. But I still think it was a dope learning experience. And you know what I'm saying? If there was things that I could change, the only thing I would change is that I wish we would have made more music together, you know, and gave ourselves a chance to keep up with some of the other groups that was like, or the other artists that were kind of collectively linking up as groups and they were making dope shit. So, but I'm
like a TDE or something, like,
yeah, like the TDEs and the fucking Young Moneys and the fucking what was Kanye West shit?
Good music.
Yeah, good music at the time, and then Rick Ross shit. You know, all these niggas was coming together and they making dope shit. You even got a couple now, like Yo Gotti shit, and like, you know, niggas that's creating these squads and they coming together and making this dope ass music. And I be sitting back sometimes like, that should have been us.
Well, you know, I mean, it's all part of your story though, right? You feel me? And so it has value. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because your story ain't over, right? You still writing it. You still progressing, you're still moving. And one thing I don't know if you feel this way. Again, I'm still learning about Dizzy Wright, but it seems like, I don't know, there's something that led you here to be talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something that's going on with you right now. Like, do you feel like you're catching a wave right now? Like the Dizzyland album drop, your videos are looking amazing. You know, are things looking up? Do you feel like you're reaching higher levels at this point?
Yeah, man. And I'm glad you said that, because you know, the pandemic, you know, ever since I've been in this shit, you know, I feel like I've always planned ahead, looked ahead, and tried to figure out my next move so I wasn't stuck trying to wait on for somebody to make a move for me. And within doing that, you know, you start to gain fear of like slowing down. And, you know, the pandemic allowed me, sometimes you don't realize that you have to slow down, not just for the music's sake, but for your mental, or just for the things that you might be bypassing that you might need a little more clarity on, right? And you might, you know, I know there's niggas like me that just be, you know, working through, like, don't like to really lean on the shit that be bringing them down. They like to work through that shit and just keep it pushing. So the pandemic allowed me to just take a moment and realize what I've done, looked at what I could have done better, because I ain't have nothing but time, you know what I'm saying? And it made me like, all right, when I get back in, I'm gonna execute better, you know, not different, just better, you know, smarter. And like, I got my master's back at the perfect time when I was like figuring shit out on my end, and was able to apply that. And I, you know, I finally got a little help. You know, I got a manager now. What niggas don't know is like, since the Funk Volume shit, I've been like pretty much managing myself, like playing as my manager out here, you know what I'm saying, kind of creating opportunities for myself. And that's cool, but when you got to wear so many hats, it take away from that one hat that you should be wearing that's gonna really get it done.
Hell yeah. Because like, you
being
know,
a boss, being a king also requires being able to know how to move your pieces, like a chessboard, know how your pieces should be able to move and shit like that. So you protected and the brand's protected, and y'all could get shit done, right? Yeah, so that's what I've been.
Because you're a great rapper. You feel me? Like you're really good at rapping and putting these songs together. That don't necessarily mean that you're really good at managing.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying? So, but you could do it because you
right.
you put yourself in that position. He'll ain't nobody gonna do it for me. I'm gonna go do this shit myself. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
saying?
gonna ride for me no matter what. Yeah,
Yeah, for
absolutely.
sure. But at the end of the day, there's somebody else that can focus on that thing that's better at that thing than you are. You know what I'm saying?
And it's life changing if you find the right person and y'all build the right way, right? Like, and it's about your trust and your and that really plays a big part into it, because you know it's hard to trust when you gaining success, you know, and you bringing people into something that you feel like you've been hovering over trying to protect, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm in a beautiful place though, man. I feel like, you know, I did 10 years of the shit like the way that I wanted to do it, you know what I'm saying? And I know some of the things that I had to go through and truck through. And, you know, I'll be able to talk about those things one day, but like, you know, this next 10, I want to spread my wings and see how far I could take it. So, you know, I ain't never been trying to keep up with nobody. You know, now I just want to see how far I could take it. Like, can I possibly get to the award shows? Can I get the awards? Can I get on the TV shows? Can I really turn it up and, you know what I'm saying, make it more about, you know what I'm saying, the work that we put in and have fun with it.
I really think you can, bro. Like I really think that those things are attainable. You know what I'm saying, for somebody with your skill level and your mental. You know what I'm saying, just from the conversation and how you think. But you know, as a nigga like myself who's in the rap the way I am, I kind of sense that stuff just from hearing you rap. Like, you know what I'm saying, listening to your raps and shit, listening to what you say, I can kind of tell that you got your head on straight. You know what I'm saying, and that you know, even like if I want to get into the Dizzyland album a little bit. So first of all, Dizzyland, produced by DJ Hopper, right?
Yeah.
And he DJ Hopper was down with Funk Volume, right?
It was. Yep, absolutely.
So is that the one piece of Funk Volume that you still are, I guess, professionally working with?
I mean, I'm working with everybody in Funk Volume that's still working.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, you know, me and Jaren just dropped a song not too long ago. But yeah, Hopper's the one like that I really like. I want like to cap off my 10 years. I wanted to do something with Hopper that solidified all our hard work over the last 10 years and maybe give fans an opportunity to identify our style and what we could bring to the table when we come together. You know what I mean?
It's amazing. I think that, I mean, the album, you know, it sounds like it sounds fresh. You know, it sounds like you really was in a great headspace. The flows that you're using, the sonics that I'm hearing, you know. So, and when did that drop? When did Dizzyland drop?
Disneyland dropped in April.
Okay. So what's that? 3 months ago?
Yeah, about 3 months.
Yeah. So super fresh. So when I was checking it out, one joint that stood out to me, a few joints did, but I'm just going to talk about a couple of the joints on Dizzyland that stood out to me and see, you know, how you feel about these records. So one joint was Sensitive Minds. So before I even did any research on you, I wanted to hear your music. I want to make sure you was dope. Like, niggas is like, yo, check out this nigga Dizzy Wright. You know what I'm saying? Let me listen to his music before I even say like, yo, I think interviewing him would be a good look for us. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I listened to the album and I was like, oh shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And when I got to Sensitive Minds, the one thing that stood out to me was Bone Thugs.
Word.
Like, that song, it sounded influenced by Bone Thugs. So before I even did any research and found out that your mom was tour manager and, you know, it's Uncle Lay and, you know, all that shit, I heard that and I was like, oh, he grew up on Bone Thugs, like me. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I heard that and I'm like, damn, because and you nailed it. Like, you nailed it. Like, the flow, the chorus, you know, it was, you know, the flow was there. Like, the chorus had like the harmony sound to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Word. Like, very, very similar to what you would hear from Bone Thugs. A couple of the lines that stood out to me from Sensitive Minds, you said, fuck all of you industry plants.
Yeah.
Industry plants. Now you as a yeah. You as an independent grinder, you feel me, coming up through the ranks the way that you've done it your way. You know, something tells me you sit back and you see some things that you don't necessarily like. So what is an industry plant to you? What does that mean?
You know, sometimes I be listening to my music and I be saying shit sometimes and I be like, is that a fair assessment, right? Like, and I'm only saying that because I be looking at this shit sometimes where I'm like, you know, when I listen to the radio or something and I feel like I'm hearing the same thing over and over and over and over, and I'm thinking about the people that's behind the scenes that's putting the money behind this, I always think about how labels love to like put money behind our trauma, right? And I always feel like they use that against us because it's like, then if like, you know, niggas ain't showing up the way that they want them to show up, you know, they not investing money in them or they not, and that's why you see artists like, fuck my label won't let me drop. Cause like, you know, artists get to a point where they want to talk about different shit and show different artistic ways. And these labels be sunning that shit and they be looking for the next nigga with similar traumas that they could throw some money behind it.
Hold up.
I know
you stressing to get out of that deal. It's a blessing that I never made that mistake.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I mean, it's what you're saying.
It's you know, cause I be thinking like, damn, you know, but I know that like, you know, we come from nothing. I know niggas be out here just, man, I remember, nigga, when niggas was just trying to figure it out, like how we gonna, like the way they want us to do it, that's just not gonna cut it, right? Like niggas' admirations be way higher than that. So they see a lane and they like, I'm gonna tackle this lane or whatever. And then they get stuck in that lane. And I don't know, it's just like, it's a fucked up shit. It's like, this is why I feel like hip hop is in shambles. I'm coming. This is why I feel like hip hop is in shambles, you know, because, you know, these labels is really only putting money behind the same exact shit. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just keeping us in like this little, they like, oh, y'all, hip hop's the biggest shit, but we gonna make sure if it's the biggest shit, they talking about killing each other. They talking about fucking each other up. Like, we'll let it be the biggest shit. But we got to see some of them fall every now and then. And we got to like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not a fair trade-off to me. It's like, deep. If they really care, you would hear more like Chance the Rapper niggas like being promoted. Like these niggas is not weak. Like these niggas is dope. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, but they just don't see that as being a money maker, but like, you know, they just like, they keeping us in the loop, fam. So yeah, Sensitive Minds is like, I was kind of like, you know, digging in a little bit, but I don't like to dig in on my niggas. Like, I be liking to look out for niggas and shit. But like, you know, sometimes, you know, I be noticing shit and be having to get it off of my chest. That's it.
No, and I feel you, and you know, it's necessary though. Like you said, I look at it as you trying to uplift niggas. You know, it's not necessarily talking down. It's like sometimes you gotta give your brother tough love. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta give him some tough love and let him know, like, I love you, but you fucking up. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how I took it. 24 Hours featuring the legend Exhibit. You know, we all got the same 24 hours. I heard that chorus and the theme of the record, and I automatically knew from just those words that you're a workhorse, that you feel like you maximize your time in a way that maybe others do not, and that may be why you know accomplish certain things that others may not. That's something that you take, you know, really serious and hold near and dear to your heart, like, you know, outworking, you know, or just, you know, working as hard as you can.
You know, nah, it was like, it's more positive affirmations. Like, you know, I believe in positive affirmations. Like, so if you just reminded that you got the same 24 hours as a nigga that like got way more than you, just that positive affirmation might do something for a nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, and I just look at my music as sometimes like niggas just need positive affirmation, shit that they can hear and go back and be like, yeah, nigga, we do got the same 24 hours. And then, you know, once you get it, you got to realize that, you know, you got to deal with family and friends and motherfuckers that's pulling and shit. You got to be able to remind them that they got the same 24 hours. And like, you know, they can't be out here wasting it because you're not wasting it. You know what I'm saying? So
it's like Meek Mill, I think his Instagram says for motivational purposes only. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, you know, if I'm a flex, I ain't flexing to put you down. I'm like, you can have this too. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I fucks with that. We running short on time?
Yeah, I'm running a little short on time, but I'm like, man, I'm fucking with the conversation. We're gonna have to run this back part two.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, yo, once we're done with the recording, you know, we could chop it up for however many minutes you got, and you know, we can figure something out, man. I fuck with your energy. I do want to get some clarification before we end this. Definitely get some clarification here because on the promoter, right? There was a line, and I wasn't completely sure what you said, and then when I looked it up on genius.com, Rob Markman and them niggas wasn't really sure what you said either. So I was like, well, damn, let me get it from the horse's mouth. You feel me? Like, so you said it's Dizzy OG brand I got? Was it brand? Is it brand? The word brand is the one that they wasn't sure about. And I was like, I think he said brand.
Yeah, brand.
So is that a real thing?
Yeah, I got my own weed strains.
Yeah,
so
okay.
It started with Dizzy OG, but it has grown into, hey, everybody can load up in the car. We about to head out.
Oh, you making moves.
Dizzy OG is my weed brand that started with Crown Genetics in 2016 in California. And, you know, I was just running around fascinated by all the, like, where the weed shit was growing, like all the edibles and how they was infusing it in the food and just like the big ass pre-rolls and like all type of shit, bro. So, you know, a brand came up to me and was like, yo, I feel like we grow the best weed in the world, but I feel like don't nobody know it. They're like, if you can help us, we'll grow a strain for you. And that's kind of how it started, you know? So I only got my Dizzy OG brand with them in California. That's been rocking for like the last 6 years. But now in Vegas, you know, since marijuana is legal, you know, I kind of did the same thing with a cultivation out there called Redwood. And I got like 6 or 7 strains in Vegas with them that, you know, we drop periodically, like, you know what I'm saying, at different times. And yeah, bro. So I got my foot in the weed door for sure. We definitely got to have a full conversation about that.
Yeah, definitely, man. Look, I ain't gonna take up too much of your time. I know it looks like you got moves to make, but officially on the recording, man, I just want to thank you, you know, Dizzy Wright, for spending this time, you know, with me, you know, just chopping it up. I see great things for you, you know, in your future. Shit, today, my G, like you right there, you doing your thing. I'm looking forward to seeing what you got going on next. You got any words, anything you want to leave with the people, anything you want to say before we end it?
Well, I want to tell you, thank you, man, for being a light in this world and wanting to get down to the nitty gritty and things and have real, you know, peaceful conversations and really doing your research. You know, I think that's where it starts. And I just appreciate you and applaud you for doing that. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
All right, I'm just making sure because I got a call coming in. But I just want to say thank you for really locking in, man, and being that person that's you know, gonna get the right information and have the right conversations. And that's why I want to continue it. So your energy is great. I like what you're doing. And I appreciate you for having me. For everybody that's watching, y'all can follow me online. Instagram, Dizzy Hippie, Hippie with a Y. Dizzy Wright, Wright with a W. And yeah, go check out the music, man. New album out, Dizzyland right now. Got some music videos out there lingering. You know, and I tried to like really give y'all some visuals. So I hope y'all enjoy it. And until next time, brother.
Watch this.